Whilst I'm very pleased to be here, we are here under very, very difficult circumstances for you. Not only for you, but for Guyanese all across our country. This has been historic levels of rainfall, and the volume of water in the backlands and across our country is just enormous. Enormous volume of water. Not only you here in Region 6, but all across the country. Unfortunately, that water has to drain. It has to drain through the system, and it has to drain into the sea, into the Atlantic. One of the things that we have to appreciate is that even if the rain stops today and the pump continues to work, just because of the volume of water that has to come down, the water will keep coming for some time. So I want my sister who just spoke to appreciate that. That it is the volume of water that is still in the backland that has to be drained. And that is why I'm here, to let you know that the situation is far from over, but we are going to be here throughout. The same support you talk about that the government give you, the same support that the government give you in the initial phase will continue. In relation to the losses, we cannot do anything about that right now until the water recedes. When the water recedes, the CDC, the Ministry of Agriculture, the RDC, will have a full assessment of the damages. They will have a full assessment of the damages, and then we will have another intervention. Right now we are working on a supplementary provision to go to Parliament to get additional resources to support our efforts. Only this morning the CDC advised, and which we are working on now, that the disaster is a level 2 disaster, so that we can now move the situation to the international community to get international support. It is all across the country, it's enormous. But I want to assure you, and that is why I'm here myself, that we are going to be with you. We're going to help in the rebuilding process. We're going to support in the rebuilding process. Today, we are focused heavily on the floods and the effect of the floods. The Minister of Local Government is going to come back to all these communities to work out development plans. Whether it's roads, water, whatever. He's going to come back. But our focus today is on the floods.
As you know that we have been working on, over time to ensure that this area is drained. The last time I came here, many residents expressed concern that the area was underwater. And I want to applaud the spirit of this community that we work together both from our level and the residents here, and we were able to get the area drained in a matter of days. And that is why we listened to some of the views and we placed pumps at various parts of the community. But as the President rightly said, we have seen unprecedented rainfall, and we will continue to work with you because we know this is a low-lying area and the cultivation water have to pass through here to get to the Atlantic. So this area is very vulnerable, and we'll have to continue to take steps to drain it as the rains fall and also the water from the backlands come. And we'll continue, our officers will continue to work along with the residents. Also, those, as the President rightly said, those persons who would have lost livestock and crop, we will be working, our officers will be working with you to do an assessment to see what help we can give back to these people so that they can get back those things. So, comrades, we have been working. I know for a fact that we have seen heavy, unprecedented rainfall, and because of that, we are seeing more and more water being built up. But we'll continue to work, and rest assured, as the President rightly said, all the agencies of the government have been activated, and we'll work with you to form that partnership to develop your community. I will ask Mr. Craig now, Colonel Craig, to make his remarks on CDC.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Colonel Craig from the Civil Defense Commission, the National Disaster Management Agency in Guyana, and we are responsible for providing relief to those persons that are affected. One of the first things we look at is if you're impacted severely and you need to be evacuated and placed in shelters, we arrange to have shelters established to support you. We recognize that in some communities there is some amount of water accumulation. We recognize that in some communities there is some amount of water accumulation in the land and in your yard and in your houses. We've been working closely with the RDC and the NDCs. I want to make a note that the NDC needs to work very closely with the residents to gather information on impact. What we've been seeing is that even though the entire community is not impacted, you have the same level of requests coming all the time. You have to remember that resources are limited, and you have to prioritize the resources to those who are significantly impacted, moderately impacted, and then least impacted. We are also working to ensure if you need water purification tablets, collapsible water bottles, that they're made available to you during this time. We'll be working closely, and we started collaboration already with the Ministry of Health to ensure that there is health and care packages distributed to residents. Because as you know right now, due to the water level, there's a strong possibility of water accumulation and the likelihood of waterborne diseases. So we have to take all efforts to reduce those diseases. So on the relief side, whenever we receive the request, we ensure that they reach the Regional Democratic Council, and I'm sure the Regional Democratic Council works with the NDCs to ensure that the supplies reach to you. Thank you.